feed off of her.
Alright, so our first topic, because y'all love pausing for no reason.
Oh man.
We're
I
not
thought we were gonna do this.
We're not even watching a movie, we're not watching Netflix, but every second guys always trying to say pause. Like, what is that about? What are we pausing? Why do you always have to say pause when you say something?
Are you asking me like?
Yeah, because I feel like you say it a lot.
Okay. Oh, don't attack me.
I'm not.
Like, okay. The thing is, here's what the thing. Let's chalk it up to this. Straight men feel some type of way about gay men, so we don't want other.
Wait.
No, listen, yo. Can I? Maybe. Well, hold on.
I feel like that.
Hold on.
Finish your thought.
Hold on. Maybe that wasn't articulated the right way.
No, I don't think it was.
But like, men are just
men.
I don't know if they scared or like if like they'll feel some type of way if they see someone else like, or if they interact with gay men or this and that. But this whole like notion of pause, they don't want to give off the whole oh like I can be gay or I'm possibly gay, because there's like a lot of closeted guys out here who just be going with the flow, but low key they be like whatever, which is
dabbling,
which is fair. Like I am nobody to tell someone who their sexual preference should be. Like I don't care. I like know people who are gay and lesbian. I have friends who are gay and lesbian, and I hope that I treat you guys fairly and the same as all my other friends. Mm-hmm. But on the topic of the whole pause thing, like honestly, like I don't really know. Like it was just like kind of like a cultural thing. It's kind of like it's the new like no homo. Like I didn't mean that. It's like I didn't mean that in that way. So don't like take it like that way. Like I recently fucking like tweeted something, and like the thought I was just trying to get out was like the guys playing in their side. That's what I'm saying, yo.
Plus pounds.
Exactly. And it was like taking it to like a whole like exactly, and I'm just like, yo, that's not what I meant. So it's like kind of a way or a buffer to get like to say what you want to say without it sounding kind of like suspect and have people like, oh well, he might be this and that because he said something kind of questionable. He didn't articulate his thought the right way, as I happen to do sometimes.
So me personally.
Yo, oh my god.
Go in.
Yo, me personally, the pause thing right now, honestly, it is like yo, when you say some suspect shit, he's coming for me. Like clearly that's not what you mean, but you gotta head down.
Yo, because niggas nowadays niggas just I'm like, man, come on.
To be honest, right now, like the pause thing, like it's less serious and more of like just a joking thing. Like when you catch someone saying that, it's just like so funny. Like yo, you said that, pause, and then everyone brings their attention. Like yo, what did he say? Like yo, 20 people could have looked at that tweet not even thought anything. As soon as someone says pause, yo,
it just explodes into a whole new thing. And like my thing is like I know where I stand as a straight man. So like it's whatever.
Very secure.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's whatever with me.
Very secure.
But like it's just like niggas just took it and run with it. You know what I'm saying? But like I mean, hey, maybe next time I'll find better words to articulate what I want to say. But I know like if a gay man like came up to me, I wouldn't be like, ew, get away from me. You know what I mean? Like, yo, what's up, niggas? Chill. Like, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, keep it moving. Like, it's whatever. Like, nigga, we're all here. Like, we're all like, yeah, like being like gay or lesbian or trans, like that was like taboo. Like, I mean, to this day, like it could be like it's still taboo. You know what I mean? People still give you looks, and people still like question. Like, you want to make sure that you get people's pronouns, he, she. Okay.
Her, they,
their pronouns correct, because like that's someone's life. I wouldn't want to be walking down the street and being like a man and someone call me like, hey, she. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't like make sense if I identify myself as a male. So like you have to be fair to the plight of everyone that you're dealing with.
Exactly.
But like in 2020, niggas don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like anything to like get the laugh, get the like whatever. So like for me personally, like it was whatever. I didn't take it to heart. Because like I know homeboy, like so I wasn't like, oh
wait, who's that?
I'm mad, Alex. So I'm like, oh I'm mad because whatever, but like niggas whatever, like you know what I'm saying?
What did you say?
I said something about how how big these dudes are, how they moving that fast. Bro, you got dudes that are like 6'2", 6'3", 265 to 280 pounds, and like if you put them in a straight line in a 40-yard dash, they're running like 4.3, 4.5. There's dudes from like sideline to sideline. By the time they hit their peak acceleration, niggas are moving like 25 to 30 miles per hour, coming downhill with bad intentions. Nigga, like that's scary. How do you move? Like nigga, I'm fucking 5'6", 5'7", fucking 2 something, and nigga, and I'm waddling up your stairs. You know what I'm saying? Like
the absolute mass and girth.
Yo, in my head it sounded better.
Let me finish. The absolute mass and girth of these NFL players always blows my mind. How are you that big, that strong, moving that fast?
I think that's a fair question or fair.
Hey yo, pause. Listen. I think the mass part was fine, but obviously in our culture we relate girth to the male genitalia. So,
oh my god.
And for that to blow your mind, hey man.
Yeah.
Thank you, Adobe.
No problem.
What are you motherfuckers like a hoots or something? Like, yeah.
Questions.
Yo, I'm just saying, man. These dudes is abnormal. That's not like what the regular human being out here looks like.
No, it's very same.
So like even NBA players, like they're, you know,
there's some
freakishly tall.
and
Like we be seeing them they're tall, but like they're actually really
like
tall.
real life, like all 6 feet and 3 inches, like that. Like I'm like
the whole 6'3", huh?
No.
The whole 6 feet 3 inches, huh?
Yo, anywho, but I mean, like back to what I was saying, like I mean, like I don't personally like really care, like I didn't take offense to it, like you know what I mean. Like, it was just a poor choice of words that were articulated.
You know what though? I'm
But
glad that you
it was
kept
a
it.
poor choice of words though. Like that's the thing.
Huh?
Like, just because you said it doesn't mean like it's a poor.
I mean, I think I could have.
That's what you meant though. Like.
Yeah, it is what I meant, but I think I could have like said it better. You know what I mean? I could have stated it. I could have stated it.
Yeah, exactly. For who? You said it right. You just said it kind of so that other niggas can clown you. That's all.
I feel that, but like, I mean, nigga, clown, schmown, whatever. Like, you know, I'm still
you articulated your words absolutely correctly. There's nothing wrong with your
I think
statement.
so, yeah.
It's just in society, in our society, there's something wrong with it.
It's like,
if you identify yourself as a straight man.
I feel that. I mean, yo, like,
that's how we live.
At the end of the day, like, it is what it is. I'm not gonna go into a show. Like, these niggas gonna play today, Thursday, or whatever. I'm probably gonna tweet. You know what I mean? Like, anything is moving fast as hell. Like, damn, like I can't move like that. You can't move like that. We can't move like that. You know what I'm
No
saying?
disrespect.
What do you mean?
I'm
What
an
do
athlete.
you mean?
I'm an
What do you
athlete.
mean?
4'3".
What do you mean? Oh God, oh brother. You never seen
4'3" flats.
You look like flats.
Anyways,
But Becky was having a field day with it too, saying like, yo, like, why is it like, is it like a societal problem? Is it like a male problem? Is it like specifically for like black males or specifically for like white males or whatever? Just men in general?
It might be more for males of ethnicity because these white boys be doing some
sussy wussy, you know what I mean? Shit lost sis be sus. And like black men, they're like, we're quick to like, nah, like don't like, we don't play that like type shit. You know what I mean? And like the white boys are more like, you know, free, frolic.
Yeah.
Like niggas is, you know.
So it seems like the black men got some growing up to do.
What do you mean growing up?
Because like you gotta get this right. Like it just seems like you guys are so like.
I'll say men of ethnicity.
But finish your thought.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Finish your thought, man. Come on.
I don't even have it anymore.
Oh my God!
I'll be back. You know,
How do we explain like in what phase of the growing up process? But what if? No, actually, go ahead. Finish your thought, because
Sometimes I feel like when you talk to them in science class, I be so confused. Like you said, the growth process.
No. She said, Adobe said we have growing up to do.
Oh yeah. All of you do. No, I just feel like the whole like
Thanks.
Right.
no, I just when I'm talking to you, right?
Talking to me.
Go ahead.
I'm talking about you. I'm talking about people. Okay, we're gonna
been like a year since I heard that. But go ahead.
I just feel like that's what is the first thing he said when he was talking about this? That when we were like, oh, I don't know if you want to say like, what was the first thing you said?
Hey, listen, we're not talking about me anymore. We're talking about you.
No,
Bring it into a point.
The goat.
We're not talking about me.
Like, it's like men are uncomfortable or something like that.
Or like, yo, I found that like straight men, like they don't like the
y'all
presence
claim
of.
that you guys are like so in, you're right, in your sexuality, but yet like you guys always have the need to say like,
I feel like there's a small, deeply rooted, like I feel like this comes from homophobia.
for sure.
I feel like it's not like I'm calling you a homophobe,
Yeah.
but I'm saying like I think that because homophobia is so regularized and like normalized and like, well, I'll say I guess like not being against homophobia is like so common. Like you hear like when we're in middle school, like niggas were saying no homo, like you know what I'm saying, like things like that. Like they've been saying it since we was like kids, so it's like you say it for so long.
But that comes
like,
from the whole. Don't you think that comes from the whole like taboo and the stereotype of like.
But ever since you're a kid, like when we're growing up, like when my nephew would play with, because my nephew's the only one out of 3, and his other 2 are sisters. So like when he would play with his sister's dolls, it's like, oh, the boys don't do that. Like it's rooted in like I feel like especially with ethnic people, especially like African people, like they'll really like
they want
like,
you to follow a certain
birth,
structure.
They'll tell you like you're not like don't play with dolls, you're a boy.
Do this, do this.
Yo, in Africa, like, yo, they burn gay men. Like,
In
yo,
Uganda, what?
yo,
They're trying
they
to
don't,
kill these people.
they don't play games. So I feel like it's definitely something deeply rooted in our culture, as well as black men, we're taught to be strong because
That's what we have to present. That's what we have to show.
And
we're
to be fair, I'm not saying being gay is being weak, but that's just how it's perceived in culture. In society, that's how it's perceived. Like, oh, if you're gay, that you're weaker than a black. You're less of a man. But at the same time, a gay man can pull up to somebody and whoop your ass. Whoop your ass. Anything that a gay man, anything that a straight man is supposed to do that makes them strong, a gay man can do, and they can still go home to their lover. That's a man, and that's just what it is. But in our society, we haven't gotten to that point where we accept it yet.
I feel like it's so weird that we frame like who we're dating with like, or like the gender person that we're dating with like how strong they are.
Yeah.
Like how like when a woman dates a man, like people automatically assume like she gotta be submissive and he gotta be this. Or like I don't really know if people assuming 2 lesbians date each other because I've heard a lot of like weird shit. Like people are really weird about lesbian relationships. But like especially with like
because I feel
they either sexualize it or like they'll joke around about like your stud trying to be like a dude or whatever, and it's like disrespectful in all types of regards. But then I feel like with gay guys, like a gay guy is just that, a gay man. He's still a man. He'll still beat your ass. Like I don't know why it seems like whoever they're sleeping with, like I get it.
And unfortunately too, a gay man just because he's gay don't mean he can't take your shorty. That's another thing too.
There are many men who don't present as flamboyant, feminine, gay men. There is a lot of what? I follow so many gay men on Twitter who will literally be talking about these DL athletes. Like I don't even know. Like there are so many football players and NBA players and all that. That's why they be getting caught in these crazy scandals, and then they're like trying to deny like the absolute fuck out of it because they don't want to be seen as weak or for people to start fucking with them. Because I feel like, I don't know, people start to, like, other men start to fuck with you once they know, like,
yeah, they sure do.
Once they thought you were straight and now they think, like, this of you, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's even why people go hard because, like, black men, like, a lot of times, especially not, like, here, but in the South, like, they'll target these, like, transgender people, these people, they'll look at them in the street and start they'll, like, beat them up. They'll challenge them to fights all the time because you're a man, I'm a man, whatever. Or like they'll look at a transgender and be like, oh, so you think you're a man? Like, so let's fight. And it's fucked up because like they're just walking down the street, but niggas feel so like they gotta correct that because
why do you think
before
we close it? Why do you think it's hard for like men to come out as gay or like even for like women to come out as gay?
Because of society. Because it's like when you grow up in an ethnic family. It's so hard for you hear it, you know what I mean? Like I remember when I was younger and I had feelings about this girl. I remember I I'll sit on the porch and I'll hear my family talk about like